No, that may be the biggest bird we've got.
Well, it could be.
I'll tell you what.
He killed the Big Daddy.
Here we
There's
are
no
with.
way I could kill another one that was better than this, the way this happened. I mean, it was like something out of the Outdoor Channel. I mean, he was spit drumming and.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Do that again. Tell us all about it there, Craig.
Yeah, well, fine figure of a man. Yes, yes.
Yes. Hold on. Let me get that. There. Now let's see that again.
Yeah,
Yes.
done.
Greg Landis, professional guide, taxidermist, fisherman, and now professional turkey hunter.
Does this classify me as a?
There's the proof.
Does this prove I'm a good old boy now? Would that?
You're a good old boy.
You got to chew tobacco in the spit.
I did that for a long time
So
and I
let's hear
quit.
how it happened.
Well,
Gary isn't fishing up there.
it was like right at 10, you know, and I was thinking, oh boy, what a, and I was surrounded by gobblers this morning. I had some up by Grandpa's barn, you know, or one up there, and then there was one in the field behind me, and then there was this one down in the woods, down in there, kind of between where Gary blind is and where I was at. And so I got that one in the field to come up within range, but there's no way I could turn around on it. There's just no way.
Yeah.
He'd have seen me. So I thought, well, if you don't pass by me so I can get a shot, there's no way. So I let him go. Well, pretty soon he got tired of the game. And I learned to soft purr with that deal, you know.
Yeah.
He'd puff up every time I do that. He'd strut around a little bit, but he kept on going, you know. So I thought, well, that was cool, you know. Praise the Lord for that one. That was, I finally got to see him strut and stuff like that. So it was getting close to 10, and I thought, you know, I wonder if I can weasel my way into getting down there by the apple tree this evening, you know. So I'm already thinking of, you know, and I was kind of thinking about that, and I'd had a couple of hens come by and stuff. And I looked kind of to my right there, coming down the field is this turkey, and it's coming. And I thought, well, it's probably a hen because it's, you know, it didn't look that big. And it was by itself. So, and I had that mesh stuff up, so I couldn't really tell. So I thought, well, I'll just wait, you know, if it comes by. And I'm thinking, if it's a Jake, I'm smoking it. If I get an opportunity, I'm killing it. You know, so I waited, and she came by, and sure enough, it's a little hen. And so she went about 30 yards from me, and she was just messing around and pecking, and I thought, well, it's a good opportunity to practice being still, you know. So I just sat there, you know, and I kept thinking, she's got to see me, she's got to see me. She never did, you know, so she pecked around, and she kind of went down, you know where you cross the creek there, where that rocky stuff is?
Yeah.
She went down there, and she was feeding, and I kind of stood up on the stump, not stood up, but kind of got up and watched her a little bit, and she went down in there, and I sat down, and I waited a few minutes, and I was thinking, yeah, if she clears out of here, I'm going to, because it was getting time to go. And so I thought, oh, I'll get out of here. And I thought, well, I wonder where she's at. And I kind of look up, and I couldn't see her. And I thought, well, she cleared off. And all of a sudden, this red and blue head come out of the woods, gliding in there to the creek, and another one with it. And so I'm like, oh. And so I kind of sit down, you know. And they kind of went to the left a little bit, and there's a little opening in there, and the sun was shining in there. And it's about the size, twice the size of the trailer. And he's in there, and he's just going all over. Well, look, I could see the hen in there. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. And that other one never, you know, strutted or anything. So I'm thinking it's maybe a Jake, you know. So, and they stayed down there forever. And about that time, 2 cows start showing up. And I'm like, and I told your dad, I said, I thought if this cow messes this thing up, I'm shooting it. Not really, but anyway. So he drummed down there and you know, just, you know, strutted and did all his thing, and they stayed down there forever. Well, she starts walking down the creek, and I'm like, I'm history. And the one, Jake, I guess, kind of semi-follows her, but they stayed right there on that spot. And then she kind of hooked around and come right up the hill at me, feeding. And she came, like, from here to the bench, right? And I'm like, and I mean, I wasn't even blinking hard. I was just going, because I figured she probably could see my eyes blink. You know, I'm thinking, oh, you know, if she putts, I'm history. You know, and she was going towards to where the stump was, and I'm thinking, if you could just get by there. And at one point she stopped and she looked, and I thought, I'm busted, you know, because she's right there. I mean, and she just kept going, no big deal. Well, here comes the cows. Well, it spooked those two or gobblers, you know, and they started running, and I thought, you know, and I thought, well, maybe they'll come back looking for the hen. And they kind of hooked. Well, the one, Jake, I guess it was kind of coming up the hill, and he's kind of coming at me, and I thought, and he's going through some real thick stuff. And I thought, man, if I get a shot of him, I'm just going to shoot him. I'd like to get the strutter, but no big deal. I got to see it, you know. So I'm just sitting there, and I got my gun in my lap, you know, and this is the totally open side, you know. So I'm sitting there, and he's kind of going off to the left. All of a sudden, the strutter goes whoop, and comes right at me behind a tree. And I thought, if he makes it to that tree, he's in range, you know. And so sure enough, he came out from behind a tree, and he was right there. And I thought, and he was still moving, and I thought, when he gets behind that tree, I'm lifting my gun up. You know, and he come behind the tree, and I lift my gun up, and this one went, prick, 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 and he stuck his head out, and I went, boom! And drilled him.
You were about